Yes, people. Do you know what I feel like doing? I feel like doing a Jason Cundy. Has anyone seen Tottenham Hotspur? Because the amount of Spurs fans that were on my case, telling me they were going to ruin Arsenal's title chances, telling me that they were going to slap Arsenal up, telling me that this was going to be the day that Arsenal fans will leave the stadium crying because Spurs fans truly believed that they were going to spoil the party. And do you know what? In the last 10 minutes, it looked like they might have. What a game of football. What an unbelievable day for emotional football fans, particularly those of Arsenal. North London Derby was an absolute thriller. 3-2 in the end. Incredible. Absolutely unbelievable game. And you know what? I'm knackered. I'm drained. I'm emotional. I need to go to sleep. It's been a mental day. I got up really early, went down to the ground, got me beer, got me ticket, got myself into the mood, and I did not expect that. Let me tell you that. I did not expect to be 3-0 up at half time. I did not expect to get that much of a close ending when it was 3-0 up. I didn't expect to see so many mistakes from both teams, but that's what you get. North London Derby. That's what happens. 3 games to go, people. 3 more cup finals to go. Big up to all of you in the chat. Big up to 13X. Big up to Mum in the chat. Big up to Ash. Big up to Despise. Big up to Peter. Big up to Bo. Big up to Saad as well from Football Corner. Make sure you go and subscribe to the Football Corner, please. Big up to him, man. Make sure that you do that because he's putting out daily content and he's a top lad as well. And you'll see him on here quite a lot as well. So big up to Saad. Make sure you go and do that over at the Football Corner. Big up to Danny, big up to FFP, big up to Guna Wayne, and big up to Jake, big up to Bjorn. Wow, there's so many of you here. Big up to Rob, and big up to Shaq, big up to Lee, big up to Pixel, big up to Real Guna. Big up to all of you, man, for being here so early. Make sure you do me a favor and hit the like button. The like button, it means so much. And if you do want to sort out your VPN, click in the pinned comment. It will take you through to Surfshark VPN, which I'm sure most of you have got by now. But please, if you've not, make sure that you click on it because it will take you straight to the link. As Mum says, where is Ronnie and where is King Hoddle? Where's Deji? Where is Tobes? Where is Henry? Where's Sean? Where's Fuad? Where's Abby? Where's Expressions? Where are they? Where are they all? That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start by calling out Spurs fans because they deserve it. I don't really listen to them. They're a lot deluded. I tell you this, though. When people tell me that Vicario should get in and Porro should get in and Van de Ven and Romero, who played well today, should get in ahead of Gabriel and Saliba, and that Bissouma and Sarr walk in, and Bentancur walks in. Madison's better than Erdegaard. Kulusevski's had about as good a season as Saka. Richarlison's better than this, that, and the third. It's all guff. It's all waffle. It's all nonsense, right? It's all nonsense. Because right now, we've decided to get rid of combined 11s from here. I can't be doing it anymore. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Right? I really do. I can't stand how people put these people in, forcing in, oh, he's better, they better change the formation so they can come in, change the magic. Do you know what? No, I ain't doing it anymore. Spurs don't get many people into a combined 11. And do you know what? Yeah, that was why. Because today, I thought they were pretty poor. Now, we had to pretty much gift them their goals. Yeah, do you know what? They were okay to help us out with our goals as well. But ours were actual individual errors. Theirs were just shocking. Defending, poor play, nothing in front of goal. It's a poor side. And this Ange ball stuff, keep playing it. Because if it's going to allow Saka to do that, and it's going to allow for set pieces to be that easy, then Tottenham ain't going to be a massive threat next season. Just put it that way. That's the way I see it. I must say, when we went into the team lineup, it was very encouraging because it was the team lineup everybody wanted. It was the same as Chelsea. There was nobody in the lineup that I looked at and thought, oh, I didn't really want to play Martinelli. I would have played Trossard. I didn't want to see Jesus. I didn't want to see Zinchenko. I didn't want to see Jorginho. For me, it was perfect. It was the perfect 11. So I'm in that position now where I am certain that Mikel Arteta knows that is his best current 11. And that's the one that we've got to play now right until the end of the season. So I was really impressed. The way we started, I must say, I didn't think it was great. I didn't think we played amazingly well. I didn't think we come out of the blocks. Didn't think we went gung-ho. Didn't think that we controlled any of the game. I thought their possession was as good as our possession. I didn't think there was anything in the game that made me think that Arsenal were going to be on top. And that was most of the first half, if I'm honest with you. Found ourselves 3-0 up, and we hadn't even really got going. We hadn't really played that well. We weren't really creating massive amounts of chances. We weren't peppering their goal. It wasn't like, look how much we are levels ahead of this team. Their right-hand side was causing us some problems. I can't lie. I thought Porro going forward, he can't defend, by the way, but going forward pretty good. Could have thought caused some threats. Thought Tommy Asu and Trossard couldn't really get an understanding, and there was no real telepathy between the pair of them. So I thought they caused some problems. And they had some chances, but nothing clear-cut. It was all kind of a threat with no real killer impacts at the end. But then we got our goal, and the goal that we scored is beautiful, and I'll tell you why. They brought on Pierre Højbjerg, right? Højbjerg come on because Højbjerg was basically brought on to kick players, to kick Erdegaard, to kick Rice, to be muscle in there. And he ends up scoring the first goal for us. Now, the corner is even more beautiful, not because it's an own goal, not because it's an own goal from Højbjerg they brought on to kick people, but because the crowd and the fans, if you've seen it, are absolutely destroying Saka, telling him he's let his country down, giving him a load of abuse. And what does he do? He whips in the ball and we score from it. And he just goes like that. And the crowd shut up. Even you can hear two of them go, oh no, they just scored. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So big up to him, by the way, because Saka played well today and deserves a hell of a lot of praise. That's all I'm saying. He was really, really good. So that was the goal that I think was needed, because the first goal for me was always going to be key in this game. So we get the first goal. Unfortunately, Romero hits the post. Fortunately, I should say. Romero hits the post. But unfortunately, they score and they equalise. And then, fortunately, VAR gets involved. Now, this is extremely tight, and it could definitely have changed the game. They could have been 2-1 up. Like, real talk. Romero's got to do better with a header for me. He has to put that in. He's hit the post. They score. VAR rule it. Offside. And my God, it was literally a gnat's whisker offside as well. So we are really looking under the cosh in that respect. But I have to say, that was all they had. That was literally all they had. Because there's a penalty shout in the build-up to the second goal. It's never a penalty. Maddison's got to get up. Declan Rice wins the ball. Saka wins the ball. Gives it to Havertz. And I must say, Kai Havertz, who was my man of the match, my player of the match, he crosses a fantastic ball over to Saka. And the first touch is phenomenal. It's actually phenomenal, the first touch. And I don't really know what Ben Davies is doing, because you know where he's going. Saka's going to cut inside and shoot, and he allows him to. And it's 2-0. So everyone, again, is quite shocked because, one, it was easy to score it. And two, we hadn't really played that well yet. And it was 20-odd minutes, and it was 2-0. 26 minutes, I think, and it was 2-0. I sat there thinking, I'm really surprised that this has been so simple and so easy. So that was what got me. Again, Tottenham, no reaction, nothing really. The crowd completely silent. Brilliant stadium, I've got to say that. Atmosphere can be hostile and electric, but nope, we didn't allow it to be in the first half. We just shut them all up. 2-0 up, 26 minutes gone, and I reckon a few Spurs fans are thinking we might need to leave by half time here. Then what happens? What happens is another corner comes in. Set piece. Declan Rice is on the corner. What happens? He gets loads and loads of abuse. The ball's whipped in. Kai Havertz scores again. And then what does Rice do? He turns around and starts giving it to the fans that were giving it to him. I love it. Ben White, shithousery, stands on the goalkeeper, pretty much taking the keeper's gloves off. That's what I love with this kid. He is phenomenal, man. I love him. I honestly absolutely love Ben White. For me, another brilliant performance. He was my man of match against Chelsea. Thought he was one of the players of the match again today. Thought he was outstanding. And we're 3-0 up. And I have to say, the performances of some of the individuals today deserve a mention. Bukayo Saka deserves a mention. I thought in midfield, Thomas Partey was just immaculate. Superb. Didn't give Maddison a sniff. Dominated the midfield. Won all his interceptions. Brilliant passing ability. We are so good in transition with Thomas Partey as well. He sees that pass, threads that ball through to Saka or to Trossard. It's a beautiful pass. It really is. I'm a huge fan of Thomas Partey, and I've been mentioning it just on Lee's stream now. Why could we not have kept him fit, man? Why could we not have kept him fit? If we would have kept him fit this season, I think we've got a much better chance of winning this league and potentially being at least 3 or 4 points clear right now. I honestly believe that. I don't think we would have lost some of the games we'd lost with Thomas Partey or dropped some of the points we have with Thomas Partey in midfield. I just think that midfield trio, it works so well. Last year, Partey, Xhaka and Ødegaard was class, but this year with Partey, Rice and Ødegaard, it's looked brilliant. And I go back to the Community Shield, where we had our best 11. Timber was at left back. Partey, Rice and Ødegaard starting in midfield. Kai Havertz was up top. Yeah, we won the game on penalties, and it might have been a bit lucky because it's the flip of a coin there. But we played well and competed with Man City for the first time in a while. And since then, without Partey, we've actually done it twice as well. But with Partey in the team, we've got a much better chance of winning these football matches. And I'm a big fan. I really am, of Thomas Partey. I'm also a big fan of this dude. Big up to yourself, my bro. Ronnie, it's never easy, but I appreciate you being here, man. And I appreciate you showing your face. We didn't see you on League Judges TV, but it's good to have you in the house, man. I'm sure you're devastated today, as I would be if we would have lost. So big up to you, Ronnie, and big up to all you Spurs fans that come in the chat and do support the channel. I do appreciate you all. Let's talk about what happened in that second half, because at half time I was on the concourse and everyone was like, I can't believe it. Let's go and get 4 or 5. Let's get 5 or 6. Judges was one of them. A few of the other people said, like, let's just get the win. Who cares? And I was a little bit like that. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking maybe we could destroy them now. But you always know that they're going to come out and they're going to try something. Now, they didn't have to, Tottenham, because we gifted them the goal. And I suppose that's the biggest negative for me, is that David Raya has decided for whatever reason to try and get over arrogant and cocky. And he's gifted them the ball. Now, I don't know why Romero is there. I have no idea why Romero is the striker. He's a centre-half. And he's running towards it like a madman. Now, great finish, and they get back into the game. But you have to question what David Raya is doing there now. And I said on the Race for Europe show, and everyone kind of went, what, Dan? I think David Raya is a good goalkeeper, but I question whether he's the one that's going to take us to the very top. Because I don't see a huge upgrade from him and Ramsdale. And he's made so many errors. He's been lobbed against Chelsea, was poor against Luton, kicked the ball out wrong against Lens, was terrible in the game today. He's had about, 2 or 3 other opportunities where he's either gifted a goal or he's got caught on the ball. I think it was against Man City in one of the games. Spurs at home, funny enough, in one of the games as well, where he made a really good save, but was dilly-dallying on the ball and nearly got caught. So this is where we're at. We don't have an Edison or an Allison. Now, I don't know if there's another one out there. Maybe it's Diogo Costa. Maybe it is Michael Mannion. Maybe it's somebody that we don't know of yet. But I think that we are in a position where we might need to look at another goalkeeper. And I thought you played well today, Raya. It's mad. Coming for crosses, commanding goalkeeper, good with his feet unless he does stuff like that. But I have to say, man, I don't think that Raya is one I can put my house on staying as number 1 at Arsenal and leading us to a title. But of course, I hope that I'm wrong. When it comes to the goalkeeping situation at Arsenal, I think Emi Martinez is the best one we've had in Mikel Arteta's reign. And unfortunately, we got rid of him. He's doing quite well, isn't he, at Aston Villa, and won a World Cup. So that's the one I'm with. Anyway, enough about the goalkeeper. The goalkeeping situation was a real negative because it allowed them to get back into the game. So at 3-0, they're silent, dead and buried. Tottenham basically at set pieces is like giving away penalties. Like, let's be real, they're that bad. Like, Ange's ball, it ain't working. They need to sort that out. Like, if they want to be a Champions League side and go and be one of the title challengers in the next season or two, they've got to sort their set pieces out, man, because it's a shambles. It really is a mess. Like, real talk, it really is a mess. But they get back into the game through David Raya. David Raya's decided to allow Tottenham to get back into the game. And then we give a penalty away. Now, it was a blatant penalty. I'm sorry, I've watched it again. It was a blatant penalty. I can't actually believe that Michael Oliver has not given that straight away. I thought it was obvious. I thought it was so obvious, right in front of him as well. Now, it's not Declan Rice's fault. He's not maliciously kicked someone. He's not tried to foul him. He's looking just at the ball, only at the ball. And as it drops, he goes to clear it and he kicks the man. So he's kicked Davis in the box and it's a penalty. And to be fair, you can't sit there and say that it weren't. It was. It was a blatant penalty for me, one that was really obvious. So, yeah, very disappointing. Son scores it. And then what is it? Well, the 87th minute, it's 3-2, and we've got 10 minutes because we've got 6 that goes up on the board. And I'm sitting there with my dad and the boys, and I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be horrible. And it was. It was horrible. Now, it wasn't horrible because they were peppering our goal. It wasn't horrible because they were all over us. It was horrible because you just knew that any little flick in the box can be a penalty. Any mistake can fall to them. So listen, I'm not going to sit there and say it was comfortable because it wasn't, but it was really good to have um, the whistle go, and I don't think anyone heard it as well. Literally, no one heard it. The reason that we knew the game was finished was because we started to see people run on the pitch, and I was like, "What? Like, let's be real. Like, this, it's got to a stage now where we couldn't actually hear the whistle. It was that loud." So the Tottenham crowd, fair play to them in the end because they had to get up for it. They had to wait until there was something to scream about. I will say that, but literally every single second of that game was horrible, and I was just wishing it on, wishing it on, and wishing it on. We were so comfortable at 3-0, and I can't really forgive David Raya for that. I really can't, and I'm struggling to. I wish I could. I wish I could love him, but I just feel like there's a goalkeeper there who I like, but I don't think he's going to be top level. We're not going to look for another keeper because he's got him. We're already going to look for another goalkeeper, but it's going to be a backup. It's not going to be a number one. Raya is that number one. So you saw at the end, Mikel Arteta bringing him off the pitch, saying how great, giving him a hug, smiling, laughing about it all. Yeah, it wouldn't have been funny if we would have dropped points, but you can laugh about it now and move on to the next. So that's where we're at. Some of the substitutions today, I didn't really notice much of Martinelli. I like Martinelli a lot, but I didn't think there was much for him. He had a couple of chances where he had a burst of pace, but nothing to write home about. And for me, I know what our first 11 is right now, and it's the one we're playing, and I'm happy with it. Kai Havertz, player of the match. I thought he put himself about. I thought he'd give 110. I thought he was fighting. He gave a little bit of shithousery. He's really changed my opinion about him. 12 goals now. Yeah, 12 goals. Really good. Really, really good. So I have to big him up. Ben White, Thomas Partey, they were the 3 that stood out for me. Gabriel, I believe, got player of the match, and he was very good. So was Saliba. But yeah, I've got to say that's where I'm at with the individual performances as well. Bukayo Saka, like literally back to his best. I thought today. I thought he had a really, really good game and was a serious threat. Let's talk about the Man City and title situation. Liverpool dusted. Liverpool done. They're finished. They're not going to win the title. It's a shame as far as Liverpool fans are concerned because Klopp, they wanted him to go out on a high, but it looks like he's going to go out on a very low. They don't look good enough. They looked terrible yesterday against West Ham. I don't think they looked amazing. They should have won the game, in my opinion, but they just don't have the upgrades on some of the players they've lost. They've not replaced Firmino. They've got Nunes. They've not replaced Mane. They've got Luis Diaz. They've not replaced Henderson's leadership qualities. I like Alexis McAllister. I don't know if he's a leader. Endo likewise. And I just don't think they've got the squad that's been able to get them across the line with this many games. They just look a bit done now and a bit dusted. Salah as well does not look good. Does not look good. When you're having an argument on the sideline with your boss, they ain't good. They ain't good at all. So Liverpool, I think, are dusted, if I'm honest. And then it comes to Man City. Now, I do think it's a 2-horse race now. I think it's Arsenal and Arsenal and Man City. And I do think Man City are going to win all their games. Now, they've got Wolves away. They've got Fulham away. They've got West Ham at home. They've got Spurs away. I need to see somehow Manchester City dropping points, and I don't see it. I think Fulham and Wolves are on the beach. West Ham under Moyes ain't going to care that they don't win that game. The only team that people are talking about potentially causing an upset is Spurs. And I don't know that I can see it, but it would be funny. It would be funny if Spurs actually helped us win the league. It would be funny. Not that I can see it. Not that I can see it. I have to say, not that I can see it at all. I think Spurs will probably roll over, and I think it'll be quite a comfortable victory for Manchester City. So unfortunately, I do see City winning all five of their games. Is it four of their games? Yeah, four. Um, and I think Arsenal will win it now as well. I think Arsenal win all three of their games. Bournemouth and Everton at home. Arsenal should be winning. Bournemouth are playing well at the moment, just beating Brighton 3-0. But let's be real, we should be beating them. They're on the beach, really. They can't go up, they can't go down. I look at Everton and I think they're safe now. So we should beat them at home last game of the season. And it's all on Old Trafford. Now, Manchester United, I know they're fighting for Europe, but let's be real. Manchester United would rather Arsenal win the league than Manchester City. So I like to think that we will be one up for it. Players will be up for it. And I'm hoping that Manchester United fans don't make the place hostile so that we can actually have a good go at beating them at Old Trafford because it's been a while. Since 2006, we've beat them twice there. One of them, 2006, Adebayor 1-0, and one of them, 2020, in COVID, nobody in the stands. Thomas Partey and El Neni both playing an absolute masterclass in midfield. And then I think Aubameyang scored a penalty, and it was 1-0, if I remember rightly. So that's the last time. It's going to be difficult. I get it. Bournemouth's going to be difficult as well. They all are. But all we can do is win our three games. And we win our three games, and we pray that something happens to Manchester City. We pray that they just drop one game. They don't have to lose it. They can draw it, and we'd still be able to go through and have the confidence to win on goal difference. We just got to win our three games and then just pray. And unfortunately, with their squad, it doesn't look like they're going to struggle. Haaland's now back. He scored again. Foden didn't even play today. He's been rested. He'll be back next game. KDB is firing on all cylinders. Another assist today. Guardiola scoring and been really good for them. Nathan Ake's been good. Rodri's still running the show. I really need a couple of injuries and I really need a loss or a draw. And I'm praying with all my might that happens so that Arsenal get a chance of winning this league. Where do I stand on Mikel Arteta? Well, listen, I've just said on the other show that I've done with Lee that this guy's been really good this year. He's got us challenging again. We've gone to the last three games of the season. We weren't able to get a trophy because Bayern Munich were able to be too good for us. I'm not going to beat him up because of that. But I am disappointed that domestic cups didn't come our way because I think that they feel like they could have. West Ham away, it was a shambles. Liverpool at home, we didn't take our chances. But I do need to see Mikel Arteta winning something. And I don't think it will be this year, but maybe it needs to be next year. We'll see what happens. But we can't sack this guy. For me, a lot of people believe that we can because if they win something, you can sack him and get somebody else in. But I look at the manager list at the moment. There's not really anybody other than Carlo Ancelotti that I would take. Maybe Hansi Flick, but I don't know that it's the right time. Mikel Arteta staying at Arsenal Football Club. The Cronkies want him here, and he's doing a good job. He's got us challenging, and that's what they want. So as far as they're concerned, he's staying, and a lot of fans like him. A lot of fans like him. So until the fans start getting toxic and turning, I don't think there'll be any need to worry about that, if I'm honest. A lot of people believe he deserves to stay. A lot of people want him to stay and have another couple of years at Arsenal to see what he can win. This team, I will say it, is the best I've seen since the Invincibles. It is. And who deserves credit for that? Mikel Arteta. And Edu, to be fair, because obviously both of them bought them. I'm a big fan. I look at the tunnel and I think I like all of you. Like even Havertz, who I wasn't sure about. He's really started to turn a corner with me this year. He really is, man. I think he's been really good. And I have to say, I wanted him to play as a striker because I had this conversation in November, October about him playing in midfield. And I thought it's time now to put him on the bench and bring him on as an Olivier Giroud type striker. And we did it. And I couldn't believe we did it. Never, never, ever, ever happened. Something that I want to see normally at Arsenal doesn't happen. He comes on against Brentford and he gets the winner. He comes on in Brighton and he scores. He scores against Brentford. And then he starts to play up top and he's scoring goals. When he was dropping in midfield, he was interlinking with Trossard and he was scoring goals against Sheffield United, against Burnley, against West Ham. And I'm thinking, wow, he's actually listening to me, Mikel Arteta here. So I was really, really impressed with what I saw from Kai Havertz, and I have been since. Ben White has been phenomenally consistent. Erdegaard, one of the best players so far in 2024. Gabriel and Saliba, absolute monster partnership. Really, really impressive. Raya, we've mentioned him, questioned him, but you know what? Got the golden glove. So, you know, I'm impressed, is what I can say. I'm impressed. And I want to see now there be 3 games where we give our absolute all, 2 at the Emirates with the home crowd giving their all, and then we go to Old Trafford, obviously in the middle of that. And I just don't know how we can not beat that Manchester United side. I really don't. Like, we 100% need to beat that Man United side. It is poor. It is all over the place. It is a mess. There is nothing there that tells me that we should not be beating Manchester United. So 3 wins for Arsenal it needs to be, and then we just need to hope and pray that Manchester City drop points and that Arsenal can go and win this league. That's where we're at. We've got to 3 games left, people, and we're still in with a title race. And last season, although we were, it was pretty much done, wasn't it? We blew it against Brighton and Forest last year, if you remember. We've got the last 3 games now, Bournemouth, Man United, Everton. Let's make sure that we don't do that. And let's just see what happens to Manchester City. If they don't drop points, you have to hold it up and say, do you know what? We've got 89 points, which is usually enough to win you the league. And it's not, because Manchester City are too good. And sometimes you have to just hold your hands up and say that. So if that's going to be the case, at least do all of we can to win it. And that is winning all 3 games. So that's where I'm at, people. I'm going to love you and leave you. Before I do that, please make sure that you do me a favor. I need you to hit the like button. We've just hit over 100 likes, which is brilliant. I need you to make sure that you're hitting the like and the subscribe button. They're 2 things that are free. There's a lot of you that do not subscribe that watch me. So please make sure that you subscribe. A lot of people think it costs money. It does not. It's absolutely free, and it does do the channel a lot of good. So please make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button, and make sure you click on the Surfshark VPN pinned into the comment section, live chat, or onto the description. Make sure that you've got your VPN. There's a lot of you that haven't got that so far. So please make sure that you go click on there. It will take you straight through to it so that you can get yourself sorted. Right. That's me. Up the Arsenal. We've beaten the Spurs. Spurs fans are crying. Apparently Michael Oliver's in our pocket. We gifted them goals, but apparently it's not good enough. The ref's still a nightmare. Spurs are crying. Probably not going to get Champions League football now, and we love to see it. Big up. We're out of here, people. Laters.